watching the Fight Network. Pretty soon you'll see a couple of guys or maybe girls punch or kick each other. If this offends you, or you are too young to watch this stuff, please, we are begging you, don't watch our channel.
It's Wrestling at the Chase. And now, let's go to ringside with your announcer, Larry Matisick.
Welcome to the 4th annual edition of the Best of Wrestling at the Chase. Hello, I'm Larry Matisick. Wrestling at the Chase has been on the air since May of 1959, and the excitement generated just during the past year alone gives a good example of why wrestling has developed such a large and loyal following. Of course, with the high caliber of talent that's on display here every weekend, excitement is guaranteed. And that's particularly true when the ladies are on hand. Think back a bit to when the girls' tag team champions, Wendi Richter and Joyce Grable, clashed with Carol Summers and Jill Fontaine.
All 4 girls are battered right now. Summers grabs the arm of Wendi Richter. Fontaine has the arm of Grable, and Grable and Richter are... Oh, they caught arms. Come up with drop kicks and miss. They missed the drop kicks after avoiding being rammed together. Lee Warren has to look at which 2 girls belong inside the ring. Eddie Smith trying to explain who belongs in there. Richter's outside the ring on one side, and Joyce Grable's out on the other. Richter's flat on her belly down the concrete floor, and she has a count of 20 to get back in that ring. Wendi Richter very upset with one of the fans as she begins to get back in there. She's taking full advantage of that count to try and regain her breath. Wendi Richter back up on the apron. Well, everything went wrong for Richter and Grable right there. Fontaine and Summers making their presence known now. Fontaine hooks the arms of Richter and catapults her clear across the ring. Fontaine again going for that double leg catapult. Into the air goes Richter. Her ribs must be disintegrated. Oh, that giant splash comes right down across the knees of Wendi Richter. For all her wildness, she uses her head. She got those knees up and caught Jill Fontaine right in the stomach. Fontaine hurled to the ropes and dropped by Wendi Richter with a forearm smash. Another smash drops Jill Fontaine. That Richter is so big and tough she can take the punishment. She still comes back. It's like she hasn't taken a lump at all.
10 minutes have passed, 10 minutes left.
And I got to tell you something about Wendi Richter. She's got some bruises on her thighs. I can see a welt on her ribs. She's taken some beating in this match, but she's still able to come back, storm back. She just won't quit. Grable puts Fontaine down after gouging the eyes. Fontaine dropped. Most of the blows actually by Grable and Richter are forearm smashes, and that makes them legal punches. Grable right on top of Summers. Flying, oh, look at Summers, stop that. A catapult, catching herself a cartwheel and a drop kick, a second drop kick puts Joyce Grable down. A third drop kick misses. Oh, Grable suckered her in. She lured her in, and Summers tried that drop kick, and it missed because Grable stepped back. Grable, using her head, got out of the way. Richter. A backflip. They catch Summers in the air. Oh, and Summers thrown down heavily on her neck and shoulders. Richter then catches Fontaine, a forearm smash, knocking her off the apron. I guess you would call that a reverse body slam by Joyce Grable as she literally dropped Carol Summers right on her head with a little bit of help from Wendi Richter. Well, I guess that's why they have the belts.
Crusher Blackwell and Dewey Robertson are next, so don't go away. In a match with Bill Stiles, huge Crusher Blackwell made a quick name for himself on Wrestling at the Chase. Blackwell tips the scales at 480 pounds.
Drop kick by Blackwell. Oh, do you believe that? Blackwell came out with a drop kick and nearly took off Stiles' head. Blackwell whips Stiles into the corner, retreats. Where's Look at this! Oh, my goodness! Blackwell Blackwell.
Goodbye, Matilda.
Oh, Blackwell just made Stiles part of the ring post. Forearm smash by Blackwell. Oh, a knee drop to the back of Stiles. Get ready in the emergency room unless Stiles can turn things around. A diving headbutt into the back by Blackwell. Oh, my goodness. 482 pounds flying around that ring like a jet. I wonder what the air controllers think of that when they see it on their radar screen. Oh. Blackwell lifting Stiles, retreating to the ropes. Oh, look out. Oh. Stiles just mashed into the mat. And that's it. The running body slam by Crusher Blackwell.
As awesome as Blackwell is, he ran into tough sledding thanks to classy Dewey Robertson during a handicap tag bout. Robertson's partner was Tom Malley.
Robertson reaching out for Malley. Malley unable to make the tag. Blackwell lifts Malley with a body slam. Blackwell retreating. Takes to the elbow leg drop. Oh. I think I can safely describe that as a giant leg drop. Count of one. Oh, Blackwell wouldn't pin him. Blackwell could have pinned him, and he wouldn't do it. He wanted to hurt him. Blackwell could have pinned him there, and he wouldn't do it. Robertson with a fist clench, staring at Blackwell. Blackwell again refusing to pin the man. Robertson yells in at the other referee, why don't you stop him? The man may be hurt. Blackwell strutting. And again, Blackwell and Robertson yell one another, and the referee chases Dewey Robertson back to the corner. How do you like that, says Crusher Blackwell. Malley, really groggy. I think Blackwell could have pinned him before and just refused to do it. Oh, running body slam by Blackwell. This could be it. Oh, tag's made. A tag was made, and Robertson comes into Blackwell. Looked like Blackwell had him down, and Robertson was tagged in. Blackwell got in the wrong corner after that running body slam. Headbutt by Blackwell knocks Robertson out of the ring. Oh, Blackwell's going out after him. Blackwell going out of the ring after Dewey Robertson. Blackwell pounds on Robertson outside the ring. Another smash by Blackwell and Dewey Robertson outside the ring. A shot to the stomach by Blackwell. Blackwell, a forearm smash. Robertson trying to keep his feet. Blackwell, oh, he tried to run him into the post. Robertson stopped it and slammed Blackwell head first into the post. And Blackwell doesn't even seem phased. Robertson and Blackwell battling outside the ring. I think the referees reached the count of 20. Blackwell again run headfirst into the ring post by Dewey Robertson. And Blackwell not even moving. Robertson grabs a chair, and we have a confrontation outside the ring between Robertson and Blackwell, who I do believe are both counted out outside the ring. Tom Malley, he's out of the picture. The crowd starting to yell, Dewey, Dewey, Dewey. The referee's trying to keep Robertson and Blackwell apart. Now Blackwell grabs a chair. Blackwell grabbing a chair. And Robertson and Blackwell beating himself in the head with the chair as though to tell Robertson, you can't hurt my head. That guy is rather unbelievable. Now Robertson offering a challenge to Blackwell. The referee's trying to keep them apart. Well, let's go to Mickey. Well, maybe we won't, because Blackwell trying to get back in, and Eddie Smith and Lee Warren have their work cut out keeping these two apart. Robertson wanting a piece of Blackwell, daring him to come into the ring.
More action is coming on the best of Wrestling at the Chase. Big Thunder has been rumbling loudly. Gene Kiniski looks better than ever, and he had a punishing struggle when he faced Bob Sweetan.
Sweetan wades in with a punch to the ribs of Kiniski. Sweetan with a punch to the jaw, and Kiniski's knocked down by Sweetan. Sweetan knows this is time. He's got to go. He's got to turn it on. So he put everything he had into those punches and knees. Sweetan, now that could have been the thumb into the throat of Kiniski. I couldn't tell if it was a thumb or the side of the hand, but it certainly took a toll on Kiniski. Sweetan drops Kiniski with a kick. And now Sweetan stands on the throat steps on the throat. You can see Sweetan still favoring that left arm, and everything he's doing is with the right arm or with the legs. Kiniski with a punch to the stomach. A hard kick from Kiniski. Kiniski catches Sweetan coming from the ropes with a knee to the stomach. Kiniski whips Sweetan into the corner. Sweetan lifts that knee, drops Kiniski, covers his shoulder. He's got his foot on the ropes, count of 2, and the referee spots Sweetan using the ropes to try and put the shoulders of Kiniski down. The referee very alert there, seeing what was happening. Sweetan, though, although foiled in that bid to pin Kiniski by his illegal use of the ropes. Oh, he's going for the pile driver. That's his specialty, the pile driver. Sweetan, the pile driver on Kiniski. This could be it. Sweetan covers the ropes. Kiniski's feet are on the ropes. Kiniski got his legs on the ropes after Sweetan delivered the pile driver, but this could be it. The former world champion in trouble. The pile driver from Sweetan. Kiniski pushes Sweetan into the corner, drives the shoulder to the stomach again. Kiniski still groggy from that pile driver. He finds Sweetan behind him. He lifts Sweetan, backbreaker. The backbreaker by Kiniski. He covers Sweetan, count of 2 and 3. That's it! Gene Kiniski pins Bob Sweetan with a backbreaker after surviving the pile driver.
Find that word.
Listen to this crowd.
You want to see knockouts?
Another right hand. This fight is over.
You want to see champions? You want to see TKO?
Wow!
See where it all began for Georges St. Pierre.
Huge win for St. Pierre.
Patrick Cote.
Oh, solid right hand from Cote.
And Sam Stout.
Oh, hand right by Stout.
TKO is premier mixed martial arts. Only on the Fight Network.
Welcome back to Challenge Churchill.
Okay, Churchill, which of the following facts is true? Is it A, you're guaranteed to beat my home insurance renewal by £30? Is it B, £30 is how much you'll beat my home insurance renewal by? Or is it C, my home insurance renewal will be beaten by £30 guaranteed? Sorry, it was actually a trick question. They are in fact all true.
Oh, yes. Challenge Churchill on your home insurance.
With Direct Line Travel Insurance. If your wallet or purse is lost or stolen, we can send you emergency funds. It pays to be with the right insurer. Call 0845 246 8522 or visit directline.com.
More is making you feel valued. That's why we now welcome all our new car insurance customers with 1 month's free insurance in the first year, and then 2 months free insurance in the second year, and every year after that unless you claim. And that means lots more happy drivers. More than. We do more.
Of course, the worst thing in the world was having my son there. But you know, later on that night, he was on the way back to the hotel. He was passed out and he was falling asleep. But he woke up in the middle of being drowsy and sleepy, and he looked at me and he was like, "Daddy, you didn't win, but you fought a good fight."
Great.
That's what he said to me. So I mean, even at 4 years old, you know, the support I get from him.
That's awesome.
Find that word.
None are smoother and quicker than Ted DiBiase, who displayed his many great skills against David Oswald.
DiBiase yanks the man over, but cannot hold the shoulders. Now look at him, right back on top of Oswald. Oswald can barely breathe. DiBiase is all over him like flypaper. DiBiase squeezing the head with that side headlock. Oswald forces his way up. Grabs the hair of Ted DiBiase. Warren tells me get that hand off. Knee lift into the midsection by Oswald. Oswald pounding on the back of Ted DiBiase. Oswald knowing that it's rather useless to try and match holds with DiBiase, at least in this match today. DiBiase obviously is sharp and has everything going. He tries to rough up DiBiase. Oh, DiBiase fights back. Mickey Garagiola says, uh-oh, look out for that temper. Hard chop to the throat. Oh, did you hear that sizzler? Oswald jammed into the turnbuckles. DiBiase brings Oswald out, goes to the side, saddle, suplex, crashing David Oswald to the mat. DiBiase hooks the head, goes underneath. What have we here? Oh, DiBiase going for the suplex. A message for Harley Race from Ted DiBiase, the suplex that Race himself uses. And there's a count of 3. DiBiase using the suplex to pin David Oswald.
A proven headliner around the globe, Rocky Johnson is a dynamic, innovative wrestler. David Price found that out the hard way.
First, Price got kicked in one jaw, and then he got punched in the other. Price gouges the eyes of Rocky Johnson. Again, Price in working on the face of Rocky Johnson. A clock to the head. Another punch from David Price. Price pounding on Rocky Johnson. Johnson slammed into the turnbuckle. I don't know if that had a whole lot of effect as Johnson's head hit the buckle. No, it did not. And Rocky grabs Price and slams him into the buckle. Price flails away at Rocky Johnson. He's opening up, throwing the rule book away. Let him out of the corner, yells the referee. Price whips Johnson to the ropes. He gets ready to throw a punch, and Rocky Johnson was gone. Price retreats to the ropes. Price was ready to throw a punch at Rocky. Rocky cartwheeled away, and Price was so unnerved by the move that he retreated to the ropes. Another quick jab by Rocky Johnson. Johnson daring Price to come to him. I think Rocky was upset for more than anything that Price moved away from contact, from combat.
5 minutes of a lap, 5 minutes left.
Price, side headlock on Rocky Johnson. Rocky pitches into the ropes. Rocky hits the ropes too. Both men flying. Price ducks. Price waiting. Oh, Rocky goes to the hanging backbreaker with an airplane spin. Look at that. A backbreaker and an airplane spin combined. Johnson cradles the leg and he covers Price. And that is it. A spectacular move by Rocky Johnson.
Referees have trouble too. Stick around to see why. The most difficult job in sports is being the referee. No decision can satisfy everyone. The job can get pretty rough physically too. In fact, that's what happened when Lee Warren was the referee for a battle between Bulldog Bob Brown and Von Rashke.
Brown staggering, favoring that back. Rashki lifted to the air by Brown. He suckered Rashki to him and scored with his own body slam. Count of 1. Rashki kicks up, gets that shoulder up. Brown following Rashki, the chop to the throat. Brown again lifts Rashki. Rashki grabs the rope and pulls Brown over the top rope with him. Oh, Brown slams his head and arm against a chair at ringside. One of the spectators vacated the area. Rashki pounding on Brown outside the ring. Brown trying to fight back. Brown grabs Rashki's head, and Brown, though, is pushed away. Brown pushed away into the steel ring post. The count, Rashki chased back by the referee, and he has to start the count over because Rashki would not get back. Brown tried to run Rashki's head into the ring post. Instead, it was Rashki who shoved Brown off, and Brown hit the ring post after he'd already hit a chair at ringside with his head. Rashki being pushed back again by the referee. Brown up to the apron. He slams his shoulder into the stomach of Von Rashke. Rashke pounding on Brown. This is turning into Donnybrook. Brown working on the eyes of Von Rashke. Brown battering Rashke now. Both of these men showing the ability to absorb punishment and still fight back. Brown pounding on Rashke. Lee Warren trying to get him back. Oh, and Brown throws the referee aside. Brown. Rashke up. Oh, and Rashke belts the referee. Down goes Lee Warren. Warren has been decked by both men. First Brown and then Rashke. They're over on top. Warren calling for the bell. Warren calling for the bell after he'd been decked first by Brown and then by Rashke. Brown and Rashke going at it hot and heavy. Referee Lee Warren trying to separate the two. Rashke backflip by Brown. Warren trying to pull the two apart, and Rashke crawls out of the ring.
two referees had their hands full restoring order when Greg Valentine tangled with Kerry Von Erich in what turned out to be a full-fledged war.
Greg Valentine yanks Kerry Von Erich into the middle of the ring and then drops his full body weight into the thigh. Of course, whenever you think of Valentine, you think of the Brain Buster, the first man to use the elbow successfully, and Greg follows in those footsteps. But Greg is also proficient with the figure four leg lock, so keep that in mind. Kerry knows he's in a war. He fights back against Valentine and knocks Valentine to the ropes. A kick to the stomach by Kerry Von Erich. Flying mare by Kerry. To the air. Oh, the elbow drop misses. The elbow drop misses as Greg Valentine rolled away. Valentine grabs Kerry and pitches him right through the ropes and out of the ring, down to the cement floor. Greg Valentine going out of the apron. Myers warns Valentine to come back, but instead Valentine goes out after Kerry. He grabs Kerry by the hair. Look out! If we're still on the air out here, Kerry Von Erich has been viciously slammed into the press table twice by Greg Valentine, and Kerry is hurting outside the ring. Valentine really just slammed him into that table. He crushed one of the glass cups here, and I don't know that Kerry could possibly even be bleeding after hitting that cup. He hit the bell once, and Greg Valentine, showing a real killer streak, he grabs Kerry Von Erich, pulls him up to the apron, bends him backward over the rope, and slams that forearm right into the chest of Kerry Von Erich. A vicious assault by Greg Valentine on Kerry Von Erich outside the ring, and now Von Erich trapped along the apron. Sonny Myers knocked down by Greg Valentine. Von Erich knocks Valentine back, and now Kerry Von Erich tears into Greg Valentine. This crowd going berserk. It's Kerry Von Erich ripping into Greg Valentine. The arm whip to the ropes. Oh, Valentine nailed Von Erich with an elbow smash, the Brain Buster right to the head. Von Erich down and stunned. Valentine grabs Von Erich, pitches him out again. Greg Valentine, a man possessed, going back out after Kerry Von Erich. He grabs Von Erich from behind, hoists him to the air. Where is he going? Atomic knee drop. The atomic knee drop by Valentine. He lines him up for the Brain Buster. The Brain Buster outside the ring on Kerry Von Erich. Myers going out to get Myers shoved away again by Greg Valentine. The Brain Buster misses. The Brain Buster misses, and Valentine hit the cement floor. Von Erich pounding on Valentine, battling outside the ring. Myers trying to break it up. Sonny Myers trying to pull the two apart. Here comes the other referee. They're calling for the bell. Valentine and Von Erich in a brawl out. Lee Warren's been hit. We have a riot outside the ring. Warren and Myers trying to pull Valentine and Von Erich apart. Von Erich and Valentine up against the canvas wall. It's a Donnybrook between Kerry Von Erich and Greg.
With or without the World Heavyweight Championship, Harley Race has a way of being in the middle of the action. Watch what happened when Ted DiBiase and Spike Huber took on Benny Romeo and J.J. Dillon, and Romeo was injured.
Romeo pulls Huber to the corner and slams Huber head first into the turnbuckle. DiBiase steps into the ring, wants to come over and help his partner. The outside referee, Lee Warren, chases DiBiase back where he belongs. Here comes J.J. Dillon into the ring, a hard kick from Dillon. Dillon on the neck of Huber with that elbow. A punch to the mouth of Spike Huber by J.J. Dillon. Dillon lifts Huber. Huber skips behind him and tags Ted DiBiase. DiBiase comes into the ring and he tears into J.J. Dillon. Flying heel by the Missouri State Champion. Drop kick by Ted DiBiase. DiBiase with a flying mare on J.J. Dillon. Oh, knee drop across the chest. If it had been the throat, it would have been an automatic disqualification, but it was right on the chest. It was legal. DiBiase catches Romeo coming off. Falling body slam. DiBiase with a spinning toe hold. and into the figure four leg lock. The figure four leg lock by Ted DiBiase on Benny Romeo, yanking back, jerking on the ligaments and the cartilage. Romeo crying out in pain, the same figure four leg lock that put Ken Patera in the hospital for knee surgery. And it records the first fall of this match for the team of Ted DiBiase and Spike Huber against J.J. Dillon and Benny Romeo.
Find that word!
I'm not condoning steroid use. I'm not saying it's good or bad or indifferent. I've chosen to take steroids in my career at times. A lot of athletes have. I believe I might be the first to go on TV and actually do it and show people and admit to it. But I'll tell you, there's a lot more out there saying that they haven't that do.
When I go out and do a gig, you're just afraid they're going to move and you're going to open your mouth and say something and they're going to drop. And if your teeth dropped out when you were saying something, it would be awful, wouldn't it? I wear polygrip now most of the time when I'm singing. You're confident then. It's no different to having ordinary teeth, as you know, the dentures wouldn't even come into it. Your teeth were stuck in. And if you put the stuff in the morning, it can last you the whole day.
It's Challenge Churchill time, and here's your host, Kim from Bedford.
Okay, Churchill, your time starts now. Do you check your car insurance prices weekly to keep them competitive?
Oh, yes.
Correct. Have you reduced prices in thousands of postcodes?
Oh, yes.
Correct. What part of a car?
Crankshaft.
Correct. Maximum points and still car insurance know it all. It's Churchill.
We're saving Britain millions. To Challenge Churchill, call or go online.
With Direct Line Home Insurance, receive a third off buildings and contents cover when bought together, and from 10% online discount. Available direct from us. It pays to be with the right insurer. Call 0845 246 4455 or visit directline.com.
Hey, this is David the Crow Loiseau, and you're watching the Fight Network. Get it on.
Oh, they have the Crow mounted. Look out here for the bombs. Here come the strikes of the Crow. The Crow coming down with the left, right, left, right. Oh, the nice one there. It's over.
It's over. Sean Tober with a TKO. David the Crow Loiseau moves up.
Find that word.
How are you? Can I get a hot dog, please? Actually, you know what? Cancel the hot dog. How about you give me $2 and I'll give you a shot right in the temple. I'm selling Fists of Fury today. Onions are free. You're nodding, but I'm pretty sure you don't understand what I'm saying. Where did you get this hot dog cart? At Crappy Land? Cartville?
Find that word.
When Romeo could not continue in the second fall, Harley Race came to ringside to aid Dillon, who was on his own against two opponents.
Huber charging after Dillon. Oh, Race grabbing Huber from outside the ring, dumps him. Now the referees go outside the ring trying to chase him back. Dillon on his own against Huber and DiBiase. Tag made to DiBiase. Race arguing with Lee Warren outside the ring. Here comes Sam Muchnick down to ringside. and Sam Muchnick going after Race to try and get Harley Race out of there. Sam and Harley Race to the far corner of the ring. Maybe we can get a shot of him. Race yelling at Muchnick. I'm sure he's complaining about why Dillon should have to be alone. Why should he have to be in a handicap tag match just because his partner is injured? Muchnick said okay. Sam Muchnick approving Harley Race to be the partner of J.J. Dillon. I assume that's what happened. Yes, he said okay. Lee Warren nodding. Race, okay. Race is the partner of J.J. Dillon. DiBiase taking his lumps, and there's a tag made to Harley Race. Dillon thrown away. I don't know if DiBiase knows Race is in there. Oh, Dillon! Dillon crashes right into Harley Race, knocking him right over the top rope. There's DiBiase going for the figure 4 leg lock. DiBiase with the figure 4 on J.J. Dillon. DiBiase, who's already crippled Benny Romeo, with the figure 4 leg lock on Dillon. Here comes Race on the top rope. Race on the top rope. Diving headbutt from the top rope by Harley Race. The referees call for the bell, and I'm sure that Race has been disqualified for diving onto Ted DiBiase from the top rope. DiBiase sees Race there, and DiBiase is after Race. DiBiase is after Race. DiBiase pounding on the world champion. He knocks Race through the ropes and onto the apron. DiBiase, after Race outside, slams him head first into the steel ring post. Ted looked up and saw that Race was on that top rope. Race diving up the top rope to get DiBiase. Race is bleeding. Race is bleeding. DiBiase has pounded open the head of Harley Race. Race is bleeding. Ted DiBiase shoves the referee away, knocks Riley down. DiBiase pounding on the world champion. DiBiase whips Race to the rope. Catches him coming off with a backflip. Race has already been disqualified. The match is officially over. But Race going after, taking a battering from DiBiase again. Race knocked clear over the top rope by Ted DiBiase. DiBiase, a man possessed, when he saw Race come off the top rope, clearly an attempt to injure Ted DiBiase. It backfired on Race. Oh, Race head first into the steel ring post by the Missouri champion, Ted DiBiase. Race has been injured by DiBiase. Race getting pounded. Look out. Race. DiBiase trying to be restrained by Huber, Warren, and Chuck Riley. DiBiase pounding Race right out of the building.
The rugged Race did not have the gold belt when he met David Von Erich, but things still exploded in fast and furious fashion.
Harley blinking, his eyes look glassy, but he still knows where Von Erich is. He scored with a punch. Von Erich fighting back. Race and Von Erich both showing the signs of this grueling duel. Neither man able to come up with the right combination to put his opponent down. Oh, did Race ever slam that head in there to the jaw of Von Erich? I don't think David's going to be eating steak tonight. He'll be sipping through a straw. He's taking some shots to the jaw from Race. Race going for the suplex. Race gets it. The suplex by Race. That's Race's favorite. When he's in the most trouble, he'll try that suplex. Race going up on the second rope. He's legal from there. He's legal. He's lining him up for the diving headbutt and misses. David rolled away. David going up on the ropes himself. David's legal from there. Giant smash the claw. No, he went for a diving claw. He has the claw on Race.
3 minutes left. 3 minutes.
For the second time in this fabulous battle, it's David Von Erich with the iron claw on Harley Race. Race trying to get away, looking for those ropes again. David kicks the hands off the rope. David kicking the hands off the rope. He has Race in the middle. There's plenty of time left, still over 2 minutes remaining. I don't care how tough Race is. I don't think even he can hang on under the stress of the iron claw that long. Race grabbing the referee, and Race! Oh, Race slamming the referee, Charles Benader, into David Von Erich. Benader cracked his head into the jaw of Von Erich. Von Erich pitched through the ropes and out of the ring by Race. The referee is down and injured. Race going outside the ring after David Von Erich. David stunned after hitting head first with the referee. He's going for a suplex outside the ring on the concrete floor. Oh, Race with a suplex on David Von Erich outside the ring. I'm sure he's going to disqualify Race for slamming him into Von Erich, but that doesn't no way justify what Race just did to David Von Erich. Race going up on the top rope. Race slapping at Venator. David Von Erich has been injured. Down on the floor, badly hurt. He's holding his shoulder. Here comes Kerry Von Erich. Von Erich pushes Race into the ring. Kerry Von Erich shoving Race away from the Venator and also into Von Erich. Kerry ripping off his jacket. Kerry Von Erich seeing what has happened to his brother. Kerry Von Erich after Race. Kerry drops Race. Race diving out of the ring, falling into the table, crawling behind our table to get away from Kerry Von Erich.
Ken Patera and Dick the Bruiser are up next on the best of Wrestling at the Chase. Ken Patera claims to be the world's strongest wrestler, and Tim Leonard probably would not argue after he battled Patera.
Again, Patera lifting Leonard. Where's he going with him? The shoulder breaker, jamming the shoulder. That's a good way to separate someone's shoulder. The shoulder breaker by Ken Patera. Patera covers Leonard, and he won't pin him.
5 minutes have elapsed, 10 minutes left.
Leonard obviously finished, and Patera drops him throat first across the top rope. Ken Patera, really no reason for that. He's proven himself superior at this point. He had the man down clearly for a pin and then refused to pin him. Patera now is dishing out punishment to Tim Leonard. That shoulder breaker probably had turned the trick for Patera, but he's still not satisfied. Patera battering the head of Leonard into that top turnbuckle. Now Leonard desperately, in desperation, fighting back. Patera just took those forearm smashes and then gouged the eyes. The forearm smashes had no effect whatsoever on Ken Patera. A man of iron. Patera whips Leonard to the ropes and clotheslines Leonard, nearly bending him backwards, nearly splitting him in half. Look out, Patera moving behind Leonard. There's the full Nelson and the swinging neck breaker. Patera whirling Leonard around. Tremendous pressure into the neck by Patera. Patera leaning into the neck with that swinging neck breaker. Leonard's going to have no choice but to submit. It's either that or go to the hospital. Leonard being pushed forward. He gives up, and Ken Patera simply tramples Tim Leonard. The count of 3, he's going to get disqualified if he doesn't break that swinging neck breaker, which of course ends up in the full Nelson.
When Crusher Blackwell teamed with Patera to form a dangerous combination, Dick the Bruiser couldn't stop himself from helping Spike Huber and Bruce Reed.
Blackwell had enough presence of mind to see what Reed had in mind. He cut him off. And just when Blackwell seemed to be getting into some trouble, he managed to turn things around. The front face lock by Crusher Blackwell on Bruce Reed. And look at Blackwell roll him over. He wants to get to the corner where Patera is, and he uses his head and his strength to make it work and pull Reed to the corner. Patera working with the knee lifts to the back of Bruce Reed. The referee bawling out Patera for using the tights to set up those knee lifts. Reed comes off with a forearm smash. Reed goes between the legs and makes the tag with Huber. Patera right on top of Huber. Patera and Huber toe-to-toe, and Huber's getting the better of it. Spike Huber pounding on the Missouri champion. Oh, Patera taking his lumps from Spike Huber. Down goes the Missouri King. Huber pounds on the head of Ken Patera. He covers the Missouri ruler. Count of 1, and then Patera throws Huber off. Patera with a shot to the stomach. He is tough. But so is Huber, and Huber is showing that exactly toe-to-toe to Patera. Again, Patera dropped down by Huber. Huber rolls Patera over, tries to cover Patera. Patera threw him off. All that raw strength comes in pretty handy now and then for Ken Patera. Huber pounds Patera into the corner, and I have to tell you that Spike Huber at this point is really dishing out the punishment, really giving a battering to Ken Patera. To the air! Can he keep him up there? He spins in the airplane spin by Huber! The airplane spin! Down goes Patera, tries for the pin. Here comes Crusher Blackwell! Oh! Blackwell! With an elbow drop to the back of Huber, and now Reed is after Blackwell. Blackwell. Reed pounds Blackwell to the ropes. Huber down and hurt. Patera catches Reed from behind with a knee. Blackwell backing up. Where's Blackwell going? Huber's still down. Oh, Blackwell crushes Reed against the buckles. Reed knocked out of the ring by Blackwell. Blackwell and Patera double teaming. Oh, together they manhandle Huber, throw him to the ropes and into the ring post. Reed is hurt. I think Huber's hurt. Huber is hurt after being double teamed and thrown into the post. Patera just battering Huber, manhandling him. The crowd in an uproar as Ken Patera batters Spike Huber. Reed fighting back against Blackwell outside the ring. Patera and Huber are the two. Here's Dick the Bruiser. Here's the Bruiser. He's wrestling later. Here comes the Bruiser. The Bruiser after Patera. That's his son-in-law in there, Smith, trying to stop him. We have a Donnybrook. The Bruiser all over Patera. Patera whipped to the ropes. Up, over the top. Dick the Bruiser coming to the rescue of Huber and Reed. The Bruiser daring Patera. He's all over Patera again, pounding on him. Huber and Reed battering Blackwell. Patera's been knocked out of the ring, and he's going right out of the ring to the dressing room.
Flamboyant Ric Flair is featured right after this.
Find that word! In this week's episode of Rough, Montreal has lots to offer an MMA fan. Beer, beautiful women, and fights. Mickey Ryan gets rough with Patrick the Predator Cote.
I wanted to be a professional golfer when I was young.
Also featuring the Road Warrior, Jonathan Goulet.
Yeah, blonde, that's good, yeah.
Get rough in Montreal this Thursday at 7:30 p.m. only on the Fight Network.
Hey! Buying car insurance online is easy. Finding a great deal on your car insurance, that's the trick. At elephant.co.uk, not only could you make big savings, but if the unexpected should happen... Whoa! Elephant car insurance includes a courtesy car as standard, windscreen repair, legal protection, personal injury cover, and you can protect your no-claims bonus. Now that is seriously good car insurance.
For great value car insurance, click on elephant.co.uk.
Welcome back to Challenge Churchill.
Okay, Churchill, which of the following facts is true? Is it A, you're guaranteed to beat my home insurance renewal by £30? Is it B, £30 is how much you'll beat my home insurance renewal by? Or is it C, my home insurance renewal will be beaten by £30 guaranteed? Sorry, it was actually a trick question. They are in fact all true.
Oh, yes. Challenge Churchill on your home insurance.
With Direct Line Travel Insurance. If your wallet or purse is lost or stolen, we can send you emergency funds. It pays to be with the right insurer. Call 0845 246 8522 or visit directline.com.
Listen to this crowd!
You want to see knockouts?
Another right hand, this fight is over!
You want to see champions? You want to see TKO?
Wow!
See where it all began for Georges St. Pierre.
Huge win for St. Pierre!
Patrick Cote.
Oh, solid right hand from Cote!
And Sam Stout.
Oh, hand right by Stout!
TKO is premier mixed martial arts. Only on the Fight Network.
We'll show you the late-night pastime the way the Japanese want you to see it. There's a reason why this show's only on after midnight.
No tenka! No tenka! Tsuki suzume! No tenka! Nariyagare! No tenka! Mada korekara! No tenka! Tatsuyagare! No tenka! Tsuki suzume!
The Real Catfight. Friday at midnight, only on the Fight Network. Find that word!
Arrogant Ric Flair was hot on the trail of the World Heavyweight Championship when he opposed Pat O'Connor, who has since retired and is now the matchmaker.
Forearm smash by Nature Boy Ric Flair. He pounds on Pat O'Connor. O'Connor pulled out to the center of the ring and once more the front face lock.
10 minutes have expired, 10 minutes left.
Flair keeps his shoulders up as O'Connor tried to cradle him but just couldn't get that leg. O'Connor underneath again for that low suplex. O'Connor pulls his head out. The head is free. That low suplex finally did the job. O'Connor spins Flair, trying to go for that backslide. It nearly worked before. Flair struggling against it. He's finally forced down. Lifts the arm right out, though. It was worth a try. It almost worked before. No question about that. Flair with a forearm smash. O'Connor with one. Flair and O'Connor. O'Connor hooks Flair, and both men go tumbling over the top rope and outside the ring. Flair and O'Connor both outside the ring. A heavy spill over that top rope. Neither man really in control of his body. They both went tumbling over the ropes. An elbow smash to the head by Flair. O'Connor pulls Flair back down and slams O'Connor into the ring apron. O'Connor trying to get back into the ring after slamming Flair into the apron. O'Connor reaches out for Flair, but it's Flair who grabs O'Connor, and Flair has O'Connor outside the ring and jams his knee into the steel ring post. Ric Flair jamming the knee of Pat O'Connor into the steel ring post. Flair ramming that knee into the post. Oh, Flair spotted an opening, and he's just like a shark going after blood. Flair punishing that leg around the ring post, and Pat O'Connor walked right into trouble there as Flair grabbed O'Connor and slammed that knee twice and then twisted it around the ring post. Flair punishing the leg of Pat O'Connor, spins it around the toe, going for the figure four leg lock. O'Connor breaks it, pulls that forward, try for a pin, but the legs of Flair are free, could not be cradled. Flair going for that leg again, trying to go for the injured leg of Pat O'Connor. O'Connor trying to keep his balance. O'Connor, seeing a wound on Flair's forehead, begins to pound on the head of Flair. And Flair bleeding from an earlier wound that had been opened in a match. The head of Ric Flair opened up by Pat O'Connor. O'Connor pounding on the bloody head of Nature Boy Ric Flair. O'Connor's knee is hurt. He knew he was in trouble and he went right for the head of Flair. Flair bleeding, the blood pouring through the blonde hair of Nature Boy Ric Flair. Something else that Ted DiBiase can attack, maybe, but more importantly, it's something that Pat O'Connor, who's still favoring that leg, can attack. Flair, the blood streaming down his head. There's the sleeper! The sleeper by Pat O'Connor on Nature Boy Ric Flair. Flair bleeding and trapped in the sleeper. Oh, both men go flying over that top rope again as O'Connor and Flair went to the ropes. Flair, the blood pouring off his head. O'Connor, oh, he almost lost his balance when he got up with that bad knee. Flair misses a punch. O'Connor with the sleeper outside the ring. The sleeper outside the ring. O'Connor and Flair. O'Connor with the sleeper. Oh, O'Connor jammed backwards. O'Connor jammed backwards into the steel ring post. The bloody Ric Flair. He's going for the figure four. Flair with the figure four on O'Connor outside the ring. The bloody Ric Flair with the figure four on Pat O'Connor outside the ring. The referee counting on both men. He's up to 15, 16, both men being counted on. Flair, the blood streaming down his face. The count's up to 19. Flair's in the ring. O'Connor with the injured knee is outside the ring. And Nature Boy Ric Flair has the victory. O'Connor counted out outside the ring. O'Connor has been injured, slammed backwards into the steel ring post, and then Flair applying the figure four leg lock outside the ring. O'Connor has been hurt. He can't straighten that leg out, and Ric Flair, even bleeding, had what it takes to come up with a victory.
Today, Ric Flair is the world heavyweight champion. He is the man everyone else is after. Watch as Flair squares off with Roy Rogers.
Flair pulls Rogers off the ropes and throws him through the ropes and right out into the front row practically. A hard spill to the cement floor. Compliments of the Nature Boy who struts around that ring. How long can he keep up that pace he's at? Night after night, the gold belt on the line, living as fast and hard as he does. Ric Flair doesn't seem to be any the worse for wear. He yells at the referee. He's just battering the young Roy Rogers around. Rogers in there with a man who is simply at the peak of his game. Look at Ric Flair batter Roy Rogers, the world champion. Oh, that Flair, just a mile a minute pace. Never stops, just keeps going. Rogers is being battered by Ric Flair. Rogers on the apron, pulled into the ring by the world champion. Flair whips Rogers to the ropes, catches him with an elbow to the chin.
5 minutes have elapsed, 5 minutes left.
The world champion grasps Rogers to the side, saddle, suplex. Flair covers Rogers. Rogers manages to get his shoulder up, and don't ask me how, because he has taken a pounding from the world champion. Flair takes a shot to the stomach, and maybe youth and stamina are going to pay off for Rogers. He landed a couple of blows, but Flair hangs in there. Knee lift to the head. Ric Flair, he played football, wrestled at the University of Minnesota. He's got a tremendous athletic background. Flair caught in a jackknife and cradle. Hey, the champion's shoulders are down, but only for a count of 1. Flair quickly back up on top. He grabs Rogers, has him in the air, setting him up. Oh, pile driver. The pile driver by the world champion Ric Flair. Rogers' foot is on the bottom rope. There'll be no count of 3 here. And maybe it's a good thing for Rogers he landed where he did. Rogers gasping. His eyes are glassy. I don't think he knows he's in the ring, but he certainly knows he's in there with a tornado. A gaudy, colorful, charismatic tornado named Ric Flair. The world champion pounding with those forearms, and I mean to tell you, he drives them home, just bangs them in there. Rogers pulled clear across the ring by Flair. He lifts Rogers to the air. Atomic knee drop, jamming the tailbone down into the knee.
Now you know he's wrestling the world champion.
Now he knows he's wrestling the world champion. So says Ric Flair, and I have to admit, I am impressed by Flair today so far. Flair has Rogers in the air, suplex by Flair. Rogers is done. Flair still not satisfied. Flair still not satisfied. Elbow drop. Nature Boy Ric Flair is dishing it out. He's going for the figure 4. The figure 4 leg lock. The figure 4, the one that rips ligaments apart. And Roy Rogers submits quickly. Ric Flair has just destroyed Roy Rogers. Flair absolutely made mincemeat out of Rogers, a good young wrestler. But the world champion wanted to let everybody know he has what it takes to wear the gold belt. Here's Mickey.
In 6 minutes and 58 seconds with the figure 4, the winner, the world's heavyweight champion, Nature Boy Ric Flair.
So that's a lot of action and a lot of stars with just some of the highlights from Wrestling at the Chase over the past 12 months. Wrestling at the Chase is back next weekend, same time, same place, and one of the standouts on hand will be Gene Kiniski. So until next weekend, this is Larry Matysik saying thanks for watching, we appreciate it, and so long.
You've been watching Wrestling at the Chase. This program has been presented in cooperation with the St. Louis Wrestling